Hey everybody, welcome back. Thanks for joining us. You're watching This Morning here on DBS. I'm your host, Chayla Mendes. Now, this is how I'm going to really test to see how loyal all of you are to this show. If you tuned in yesterday, then you'd know we had a very special segment, and that was with Fiona Compton about the not asking for it movement. So, of course, as we promised, this was a very delicate topic, and it was too important to just give one segment, so the continuation is going to follow right now. So here's part two of the not asking for it feature.
Also, one of the things people don't realize when it comes to rape and abuse, majority of the offenders are people that the woman knows. So it is family members, it is friends, it is neighbors, it is co-workers, but it's especially family members. And I think this is also a thing that is in St. Lucia in particular. It is, that in itself is an epidemic. The whole thing with incest is a known thing, and I think we are too accepting of that. Like, oh yeah, so and so grandfather, so and so uncle, or
they hide it under
they hide it.
yeah,
They hide it.
under the carpet.
They hide it, but it is hidden. It's hidden in plain sight because everybody knows anyway.
Yeah.
Or when I started the campaign, a lot of people that I've known for years, and strangers too, would message me and say, "Thank you for this because my cousin raped me when I was 6," or my uncle was abusing me between the ages of 8 and 15, and things like that. And most of them haven't told their families, so they are walking around as grown women carrying the secret.
Right.
And I think that's very unfair for a child to go through that, a teenager to go through that, and a woman to go through that, because the reason why they carry that is because they're embarrassed, because it goes back to the whole thing of blaming the woman or blaming the child. And I think that when I say it is so ingrained in our psyche, it has come so bad that some mothers will choose the man over their child. So if
it's sad.
yeah, because the child will come and say, "Well, mommy, so and so touched me, this and me." So what did you do to encourage him? These are the questions that people ask victims. What did you do? That is the first. What did you do? What did you say? Were you too friendly to him? What were you wearing? And these are not factors to validate any kind of abuse ever.
And then you have so many people now walking around with these scars, and because it's damaging not only physically but the emotional damage, I think was even more long lasting, which is something, like even right now here in St. Lucia, as you said, even with rapes, this is almost like it's the second most popular thing you start hearing on news reports, which it's really getting out of hand. Which leads me to ask you, bring us to this discussion, because we always have this, sort of male versus female debate in society. Like, guys can get away with stuff that females cannot. Or again, like you say, you dress with the way you dress. Like, I mean, I love carnival, I love this. But so because once a year I decide to wear a sexy costume, again, does not mean that somebody is asking for someone to hurt them. So then you have these male privileges that come up, in society.
I mean, that's one of the things that I'm trying to drive home with not asking for it. I will never ask a woman or a man to change the way they dress, to change the way they dance, or the type of music they listen to. That is not the point. Because at the end of the day, if you look within, say, some of the Muslim countries and stuff like that, where the women are fully dressed in hijabs, they are still raped. Okay? It's nothing that a woman does or whatever to encourage rape. When you look at rape statistics, most of the time the women are not dressed in skimpy outfits. Okay? And you cannot justify that a 12-year-old or an 11-year-old or 6-year-old or an 18-year-old person wants to get raped. Nobody wants to be violated. Nobody wants to have someone they don't want invade their bodies. How could you ever want that? You don't get dressed even on carnival morning and say, "Yeah, boy, you know what? Yeah, if I wear this costume, that's definitely gonna make me get raped or pulled or grabbed." Why would you ever want that for yourself? And I think I'm just trying to shift the mentality of that male expectation that just because you can see it, you can take it. Do you go to the supermarket and just start eating food? Do you see someone seated at a table with a plate of food and just push your hand in it and start eating it? You don't do that. So what gives you the right to do that to a human? I just don't understand that. I don't understand why it's it's so deep in our minds to think that that is just there for you to take. And when you talk about the male and female conversation, something a friend of mine said to me, it's so true. There's a guy, solution friend of mine, and he said the problem is most women don't realize that they have been raped, and most men don't realize that they are rapists, because when people hear rape, they think girl is walking in the alleyway and a stranger just take them. No, it's not that. It is a girl and a guy could be out and maybe they flirting or whatever. Maybe the girl changes her mind and he still goes and takes it because he says, well, boy, the girl want to try and cut star by, just take that, you check it? That kind of talk. So the girl was thinking, well, you know what? I let him on. So therefore, I just have to lie back and take it. Right? That's rape,
There's so many different levels
Yes,
of it.
there's so many dynamics with it. People don't understand that actually that's rape. Your husband can rape you. Because if you say no, I don't want to today, or whatever, and he still takes it, that's rape. Right? Or if it was a guy that you used to do something with months ago, weeks ago, or yesterday, and if today you say no, no is no. Right? It's like people get more offended if you're eating your nice plate of food and I say, can I have a piece? And you say no, and I push my hand and take it, right? You'll be really upset, right? But if you say that a man and a woman are out somewhere and the guy paid for her drinks, paid for her food, picked her up or whatever, and she said no, people will be less upset if he decided to report or take from her, right? Than if he took somebody's food from their plate. Be like, boy, how you could just take somebody's food like that? But if certain, say, assurances or certain things are put in place, that as if like that's guaranteed that you're supposed.
It's like you're
obligated to give sex, right? And I think that's one of the things that I'm trying to push home with not asking for it. It's not, even if a girl bend over and whine on you midnight, that doesn't mean you have a right to just invade her body.
It comes with a level of respect for others. It really does come down to that. And as St. Lucia, sometimes we have to get a little uncomfortable and shake things up so that we can actually make changes. Because even for me, being female is something important. I have a son, and I want to make sure that I'm raising him to understand, respect persons. Even something as simple as don't hit friends in your class. If she's a girl, don't hit, that even if they're in trouble, he comes home, he's like, oh mommy, but she was quarreling and she hit me for something. Like, okay, even if she hits you for, people might think I'm overreacting, but these things kind of start even from there, because you grow and you just think, oh, okay, yeah, that's okay. You have to kind of raise these morals and habits and have that broad perspective so we can start making changes. Because again, rape too, I really have been looking forward to talking about not asking for it with you, because again, just down here in St. Lucia's, rape stories are becoming too rampant. So I'm happy that we can talk about this now. I know that you also have not asking for it merchandise, and the proceeds, of course, go towards helping to fund the campaign. So how can people, St. Lucians and by extension the rest of the world get part of it?
Well, I mean, the thing is I guess I have the merchandise on sale. I also brought some down with me, but on the website notaskingforit.com, and it funds lots of different charities. We actually have a set of money allocated as I'm here to bring over to the crisis center and things like that. And one of the things that I've been trying to put in place is to start to teach women self-defense. I have Guy Benny, who's offering his services to help to teach women how to defend themselves.
All right, St. Lucia. So now you know exactly what not asking for it is all about, where it stemmed from, and again, how it affects all of us, not just women, but the wider society in general. So take what you need from this and let's move forward, more educated, wiser, open-minded, and of course, more respectful to everyone. Hey St. Lucia, good morning. Hope everybody's feeling good. I'm super, super excited and pleased to be here with Jermaine, who is Programs Coordinator with the St. Lucia National Trust. And first of all, Jermaine, how are you today?
I'm good. I'm really good. Excited to be here.
Great. And we're in a very, very special place. This is actually part of our history and also historic for one of our Nobel laureates. We're at the Derek Walcott House. So, of course, we know that the official launching happened for the Nobel Laureates Festival. So, it's only fitting that we took a visit, come right here to the Walcott House, and that way we can just really immerse in the history. And Jermaine is our expert for that.
Expert. I hope so. I really do hope so. Well, welcome to Walcott House, which is the birthplace of Derek and Roderick Walcott, and their older sister Pamela. Sorry. We're excited about this project because it's the first place that two of our major icons of St. Lucia were raised and born and bred here, and there's a lot of activity around our culture that happened in this very space. So it's very sacred to us, and the National Trust for just being able to preserve it. So we're very excited to have this conversation right now. And as I said, the twin brothers were born in 1930s in this very house. Their father died when they were very young. Probably in the first year of their birth. So their mother raised them in this house along with Pamela, their sister. So welcome to Walcott House.
So St. Lucia, we're going to give you an exclusive tour through the Walcott House.
So we're in the foyer of Walcott House, and this would have been the entry to the old house. It would have been a balcony for sitting and just relaxing, the Mako balcony, like what you'd have in the Caribbean style, with the awning windows. And here we have some pictures of Pamela in a Turk's costume that designed by her brother Roddy. He was very instrumental in Carnival in St. Lucia. I think Derek's mom even sewed a few of those costumes because she was not just a teacher, but she was a seamstress as well. And we've got there's an image here of Pamela sitting in what would be the living room then, reading a book. And yes, we've managed to keep a lot of the original design of the balustrades and the fretwork of the house. So we're in the main space, what would have been the living room, the living space of the Walcott brothers. At the moment, it's an exhibition of both Derek and Roderick's work, so Derek's work and Roderick's work. And what I'd like to highlight about this space is that Harold Simmons was a very talented painter, and he was also influential on the brothers. And they would have these. Harold Simmons was exploring different ways of expressing the Caribbean in painting. So, for example, he painted breadfruit leaf, and Derek sort of started to explore that as well. In that we were so used to seeing British landscapes or things that were, not very Caribbean. So his watercolors started exploring these various landscapes of ours, like something true to St. Lucia. And behind us, you can see the vitrines with Roderick's work. Roderick did 17 dramas, I think, in his lifetime, and copious other plays. So a few of them are highlighted in the bookcase. Banjo Man, Harrowing of Benji, those were all very famous pieces. I think Harrowing of Benji made it regional, and it was played over and over, even now. So Roderick does have an immense and tremendous legacy as well as Derek. So yeah, you can see these highlighted in here. Chasson Marianne, he worked on with Charles Cadet. And yeah, all of it, again, as I said, highlighting very crucial elements: the banjo, the music, the flowers, the song, the dialect. These guys were writing patois at that time. Well, we're upstairs in the main bedroom area, bedroom area of the Walcott brothers. And this is what would be Sir Derek Walcott's bedroom. This is the window that he would be dreaming out of, writing his poetry. And ironically, there's a bougainvillea bush outside of the window, which was sort of not staged, but part of, it was a requisite that we plant one, because he wrote so prolifically about the bougainvillea outside of his window, outside of his house. And that sort of brought to life this whole concept of the softness of his space and living in it and whatnot. So, Derek had a really it was a tiny space. It was, I don't know, like 5 by 6 or something like that. It was very, very small with that one window and the zinc fence over his head. So we're in the main space where they would have a sleep space. And at the moment we have a big screen which shows videos of both brothers. There's a 20-minute documentary on both brothers and a few other sort of little short videos about Derek and his Sir Derek. I keep saying Derek because he keeps insisting, you know, like, why are you calling me Derek? So why are you calling me Sir Derek? But yes, Sir Derek.
Jermaine, just let us know opening hours so that way St. Lucia can know, times to come over, if there's costs attached, and of course how they can contact you all.
Okay, so we're open from 8 to 4 in the weekly, Monday to Friday. You can contact us on 452-5005, which is the National Trust main switchboard. And also next week, in support of Nobel Laureate Festival, we'll be having an open house from the 23rd to the 27th, where students and the general public are encouraged to come out and see, what's in the house. And at the moment, it's free, so please come down and, just, immerse yourself in these two very, very iconic poets and playwrights and painters. There's so many tags attached to them. So come down. So
listen, you have no excuse not to come. Right now it's free. And listen, if you're creative, maybe if you want some inspiration, you might just come here and something might just hit you. So it's worth the while. It's definitely worth seeing, and it's something that we need to be proud of. So come enjoy for yourself.